definitely this is definitely an interactive experience. We love to vibe with each other inside of these containers. In fact, the more that you participate, the more that you get out of it, the more that we can bring the fire for you guys today. Um, we're going to cover, let me share my screen. This is called Rapid Research Revolution. Am I sharing the right screen?
You are.
Awesome. Awesome. Welcome to Rapid Research Revolution with Melissa Henry and also myself, Christian, and Amber. We are going to present to you a fire presentation, specifically on how we use AI to discover deep insights for the perfect fit buyer, and doing this in record time. Anybody here know the importance of buyer research? Drop a one in the chat if that's something that you've personally explored and understand the power behind that. Anybody? All right, looks like we're getting, yeah, for sure. Oh my God, yes.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, it's incredibly powerful, but the big problem that we see with a lot of this is it's very time consuming. So what we want to share with you today is, how you can do that in record time, and how we use AI for rapid research that will superpower or change any buyer's experience and make offers a heck yes for clients. So let me know in the chat, would that be something that's exciting for you today? I know when I discovered this stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, what used to take me months, even years to do, we can now do in a matter of minutes, right? It's and uncover some things that we never saw possible with this. Now, my name is Christian. I'm going to be your host. We also have Melissa Henry, who you guys may know her, you may not, but she's a powerful brand development coach. And she's been working with us behind the scenes to build some amazing things with AI when it comes to brand development, copywriting, buyer's journeys, and specifically how to create sales in a much more accelerated way by understanding what's possible with buyer's journeys, and also how to pull hidden data through using AI. Amazing, right? Drop a fireball in the chat if that sounds like it's going to be something that would help your business today, because I know for sure that this has been very helpful for us. So this is a super simple research that gets an easy yes on 5K, 10K, and even 20K offers. Now, this is the type of stuff that, results like this, really crazy things that we've seen, $33,403 in 8 days. Easy, yes, on high ticket sales. My image is missing there for some reason. And some of the research case studies that we've done, upwards of a 60% opt-in rate across multiple different case studies, generating anywhere between 56,000 all the way back to 135,000 all the way throughout our funnel on the back end. And in record time, I'm talking like, what used to take us all year to generate this type of cash, we were doing it in like 30 to 45 days. Pretty crazy, right? But we found some secrets in regards to the combination of branding, buyer's research, and actually creating sales using AI. In other words, accelerating that process. Pretty cool. Would you guys love for us to share some of those secrets with you today? Drop a fireball in the chat if you're with me. You guys are absolutely amazing. Carolyn, awesome. Cool,
Harlan,
cool.
Linda, nice.
Laura,
Laura.
amazing. All right.
Awesome.
So this is actually another case study that we did. We got another 63.91% on our opt-in rate. And this used to take us months or even years to discover.
Yep.
Right. We were like digging through the trenches, looking on the ghettos of the internet, trying to pull information about our buyers. And it was just like so time consuming. We even had a team of people working with us to discover these things, and even hired coaches to teach us how to run these systems. And it was transformative across the board for our business. But the big problem that we faced was so much time and energy involved with doing this.
Yep.
So now it can be done in minutes. And we're going to give you a clear demonstration on how to do that. So this is without spending years gathering insights. This is without complex marketing techniques. This is actually a kind of breakdown of what you're going to see the system deploy and pull through. And this is actually a live case study that Melissa was able to do. And she's going to share some insight around what she discovered with this as well. So at the end of this training, you're going to get access to our special, I can't read that, bonus just for joining us live. This is actually called the Viral Blueprint. And this thing, if you're familiar with like outbound and inbound marketing, once you have the research dialed in, you can deploy the research. And you can see on the screen here, this is how we do some of the research. And we actually backwards engineer what goes viral on social media, depending on the research that we find. And so you're going to see some of that inside of this. It's yours, absolutely free. Stick around all the way till the end. But before we get into the powerful stuff, I would like to bring Melissa forward and have her share some of the most important things that she found combining AI with rapid research, and why it's important and why we don't focus nearly enough on the research that creates a buyer's journey.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Melissa, I'm going to pass it off to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
If you mind sharing a little bit about your experience so far.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I want to talk about buyer's journeys in just a sec, because what I want to tell you about is something that was super powerful for a client that actually took me up on my beta program. So I created this beta program that was for people to like go through this process with me, because when I became a client of Christian and Amber's, I really wanted to put the system through its paces and see what it really could do. So I invited a certain number of clients to come work with me. And one of my clients, she's been a coach for about 20 years. She has, has lots of clients under her belt. She has all of these resources and guides and, methodologies and everything. And she was at this point where it was like for 2 years, she was trying to figure out, well, what's my next step? I know I want to do something different, and I know I want to help people in a bigger way, and I just don't know what to do. So she and I got started, and as we went, and you're going to see, some of the specifics from the things that we worked on together, but a little bit later on. But what she said was, "Oh my God, in over 2 years, I was so confused." And now, after having talked to you, after going through this research together, after us, working on it, implementing it, etc., she said, literally, I closed. She goes, I attracted and I closed 4 clients at 10K each, plus had 4 more phone calls scheduled with clients that are a right fit for her year-long program, which is her 25K program. And that was in about 30 days or less. And that she says this was the result of us working together, using the AI, but also working together on analyzing it and working it, together to figure out exactly the right path for her. So it's
Wow.
really powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
um Crazy awesome stuff that happens. That was one of my biggest wins from this. So I want to know from you guys. We started touching a little bit on buyer's journey, and what I found is when I say that term, not everybody really understands what that means. And so, if you can, I have this open here in the side, the chat. If you want to just put in there like yes or no, I'd love to know whether this term makes sense to you. So very quickly, just Carlin knows it. Carlin, I knew you know that. Anybody else? Laura knows it. Cool. Anybody else?
Awesome. Melissa.
Melissa, yeah. Learning every day, Dustin says. Gianna, Kim, yes, yes, yes. Seems like everyone's cool on that, Christian. So I think you guys understand that if you know that your client already has the problem dialed in, they know what that is. They may know the solution as well. But what's going to be really important to you then going through this? Yeah, consideration for far too long. You're right. So what's going to be really powerful then is how you apply it using AI. So if you don't apply this concept for buyer's research, what will happen is you're actually hitting people at the wrong place in their buyer's journey, which means that you're losing them. So you're not going to get the sales. Some people get to this point where they're like, my offer is just off. My messaging is just off. I'm not getting sales. I'm afraid I'm going to have to close down the business. And I'm going to tell you that this was my thought too. So I've come to this point in my business and not too long ago, as a matter of fact. So anybody else, can you relate to that? Like, is there anybody that's felt like, yeah, yeah, right?
Mhm.
Kim's
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
absolutely. Linda's like, yep, yep. Or burnout. Exactly, Carlin. Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, so
Totally.
we're all, I feel like we're on the same page here. I mean, everybody comes to this point, I think, once, here or there. But that's why we wanted to come to you today to share this with you. I mean, you guys who have heard me talk about this, you know how excited I am about it, right? Because when you nail the right type of research, and there's a process, okay, we're going to show that to you, you're going to see the fast results that we're talking about, just like what I described, but also what Christian described as well.
Mhm.
So Christian, tell us a little bit more about this slide.
Yeah, this is generating from a system that we created from the research, monthly recurring revenue streams. This is high ticket sales coming in consistently. This is, it's just been a game changer for our business in so many different ways. And to think about, what we were doing before when we were just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to figure out, and trying to fine tune where we're at with our audience instead of actually listening to them and pulling research that would actually resonate with them. It was difficult, and it was the difference between a sale here and there and also consistent sales compounding time after time, using this process. So really what we're getting to is this: understanding your buyers is the difference between, having a sale come in here and there, because that can definitely happen, but it's
Hmm.
tricky because we were like, oh, we nailed it now. We got a sale, we got a couple sales this month or whatever, and all of a sudden, boom, like it comes all crashing down. You're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we haven't tuned into the exact process, the buyer's journey that needs to occur in order for that person to actually become a client on the other side. And the
So
difference
good.
is between attracting the right clients and creating the client through the process. So that's the difference.
Yes. Yeah.
One
And
sale
can
here
I
and there.
just
Sure.
I just want to jump in and say this. This happened to me. This happened to me not long ago. And the quick and dirty is that I had a client who booked with me for a full year, my biggest program for an entire year. And she booked, yes. So I hit something there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
then she booked with a deposit and then she ghosted. And I
Oh
never
no.
heard from her again after
Uh-oh.
multiple attempts at following up, etc. So I know I didn't get it right. I didn't have this. I didn't know why I lost her as a client.
Powerful.
So, yeah. So now I know I know
Mm-hmm.
better where I need to be on this journey with my clients.
Amazing. So our goal at the end of this training is you should have a crystal clear way of effectively fine tuning your buyer's journey. And that will end up resulting in roughly about 2 to 10x without spending months getting there, right?
Yeah.
This is our goal within this training, and hopefully you find it extremely valuable. Our goal is to provide value here on this training. Now, just to kind of preface that, we will be using a tool that we created. That's because we created this tool to speed up the process. You could do this with ChatGPT and other tools, but it's likely going to take a good amount of time. So you can take these principles and use them in real life, but we do have a way to shortcut that process, and we're going to share that with you today.
Yeah. So there are basically three things you're going to learn as we go through this today. So when we go through this towards the end, we're going to show you there's the training bonus that we're going to have. But this is basically how it covers how the traditional marketing tactics we typically do. But if we don't use the buyer's research, it can cause you, you know, tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is how we're going to fix it. So we're going to show you the how. And we also have this training bonus that Christian mentioned just a bit ago about the viral blueprint. It's the full SOP on how to do this consistently. And it's using compound momentum, not doing dances on TikToks, things like that. That's fun and everything, and it does get views, but basically that's about all you get. Like you don't get people clicking through to get on calls with you.
Mhm.
So we're going to show you too how you're going to get the high ticket offer creation system. I went through this, you guys. It's amazing. And Amber and Christian used this so that they could do $100,000 in sales in just 45 days because they made changes to their offer that were so that spoke specifically to the exact pain points that their clients were having.
Exactly.
So I'd like to know, um, do you relate to where do you relate to this most? What's coming up for you?
Where are you at right now in your process of building, just so we can best guide this training? Where are you at right now? If you're just starting out, drop a 1 in the chat. If you are kind of ready to scale, you've had some sales, but you want consistency, drop a 2 in the chat. And if you're scaling already, but you want more time and you're at like 50K per month plus, drop a 3 in the chat.
Cool. Okay, so it looks like mostly
Mostly
twos, a
twos.
smattering of ones,
Okay.
mostly
So
twos.
the reason why we ask this, and this is a golden nugget, write this down for your messaging and your buyer's journey kind of approach. We're going to cover more today on how to do things versus why you should do things. And this is really important if you want to pull people through a process where they can understand, depending on where they're at, then people that are more sophisticated, already kind of in the middle, what's going to be most helpful for them is how to type messaging.
Yeah.
If they're at a 1, right? So this is why we pulled to see where you're at, to see how we can get the best experience for you. Then the best type of messaging we could provide for you during this experience would be why you should use this type of methodology. So the difference, if your audience is a little more sophisticated and more on the 2 side, you go how to messaging. If your audience is less sophisticated and kind of just starting out on the 1 side, you go why, and that's going to resonate with that audience more. And this is based off our research of understanding where people are at and how to communicate effectively to them so we can give the best experience through that process. Make sense? Drop a fireball in the chat if you find that helpful today, because we'll be sharing lots of tips like that throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Amazing. All right,
Yes, we
cool.
got some fireballs in there. So, we're not going to be here today just to show you how to speak to your dream clients doing the messaging through this hyper specific research. Instead, or not instead, in addition, we're going to show you how to turn the research into consistent high ticket sales because and doing it consistently over and over again. This is like taking that research and we're going to actually make it work for you. So, would it be okay if we go ahead and show you golden nuggets from when Christian and Amber invested $250,000 working with some of the best coaches, systems builders, researchers, copywriters in the world? Anybody cool with that? You can just drop
Yeah.
yes. That's cool. Anybody
Yeah.
else?
So
Yeah, yes,
we've had
totally.
the
Yeah.
opportunity to work with some incredible systems builders, some of the people behind the biggest brands and influencers in the world. And we got to sit in the room with them and pick their brains. And what we want to share with you on this training is distilled version of that. So this took us like, I don't know, probably like 4 years sitting in these rooms with people and investing a large amount of money. And we want to share those distilled golden nuggets here today.
hmm And by the way, I mean, I'm sure you guys have been to these kinds of things before. We're going to, though, today give you a ridiculous offer that it's so amazing. And what we've decided is that if you can find something better than this anywhere, we're going to give you $2,000 worth of software and training directly from Christian Amber's private vault. So anyone who's up for that challenge, please go ahead and drop a fireball in the chat right now because I'm not going forward until I see the fireballs. All right.
So
Well,
here's
Daniel,
nice.
that's fine, my friend. You need to be on the
Nice.
live. That's cool. All right. Very good. Well, I think we got a few in here who are excited about it. So let's move forward. Yep, Daniel's excited. Cool. Awesome. So before we get started, let's do something exciting. Let's do a giveaway. I
All
want to
right.
know. Yeah, go ahead. Christian's going to take this one over right
We're,
here.
we're going to give away 3 seats. So by the way, who's ready for a giveaway? First of all, we want to bring the fire for you today. So this is straight out of
Yes.
our training vault. This is called Quantum Entrepreneur. And this is a little bit of energy and mindset work to enhance your ability Free stuff. Nice.
Yeah.
To enhance your
Please and thank
ability
you.
to go to the next stage of your business. So Amber and I, my wife Amber, she's in the room here too. She's supporting us right now. We have a background in mindset and energy work, and a lot of our clients say this is probably some of the most profound stuff. We're going to give 3 of these away right now, but, or I should say on this call, but I'm going to do it in a trivia format.
Uh-oh.
So first things first, drop a fireball in the chat if you're ready for one of these to be given away right now.
You guys should just have like Fireball as like a hotkey
Yeah.
because we're
Awesome.
gonna
You
be
guys are
saying that
awesome.
like a lot. So
Yeah.
everybody's doing it. Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a trivia based on sophistication levels. The first person that answers this correctly will get one of these right now. Based on sophistication level, who gets the why messaging? 1, 2, or 3? We got a
Carlin's
winner.
one, Laura
Carlin.
and Todd.
Amazing.
Uh-huh.
All right, cool. So, Carlin, you get the first one. We're going to do another round of trivia, probably about halfway through, but we're going to make sure that you guys are fully getting what we're saying. And so the next trivia will be based on a question that we have taught throughout this training today. So pay attention. Here we go.
All
And
right.
I'll be getting you that, Laura, privately. I'll message you right now.
That's Carlin, I think you mean.
Or yeah, sorry, Carlin.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, all right, we're gonna get into this. I know everyone's excited, so let's get into it. All right. I think you guys or I think you guys know that we're at a very powerful time right now in our history. And I think it's going to be a transition period for people because of the mass influx of AI onto the scene. And so it can look good or it can look bad. And here's some examples of we've seen this in the past, right? And some are going to strike it rich and others are going to be replaced. And I hate to use that kind of scare stuff, but it's absolutely true.
It's true,
It's
unfortunately.
absolutely true. But the timing couldn't be better for you guys to recognize that right now and actually use it to help your business. So, what is the question, Christian? I don't remember that. Who here has heard of this little thing called what? Drop it in the chat. What is this? What is this cool thing? ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT. Yeah. Yeah, that came on the scene November of last year and then it seemed like everybody there for a while was going nuts like really getting on there and saying, "Hey, this is a training. I did that too." Because I thought this is amazing. But what I quickly found out, and a lot of people found out, that it kind of takes a lot of things like prompt engineering, like understanding that, using archetypes for your brand, understanding how to chain prompts so you get the right answers. And it is a great tool, but there are some major downsides working with it that I discovered very quickly. And because of that, I know that I've had some huge breakthroughs because of understanding that. And the people that understand that, they're going to be way ahead of the curve. So here's some of the bad things that are happening that are happening now that can happen when you don't get a handle on this. It's falling behind your competitors because your competitors are going to be investing in AI technologies like this to get ahead. So getting ghosted by potential clients because your messaging is not on point. Um, and our slides are a little slow here, but wasting time on social media posts that do nothing for your business. And what I mean by that is those posts that are not actually dialed in, right, with this research. So many people are using AI to enhance their business, but are they actually getting sales from it? So, if you've used ChatGPT, have you ever actually gotten a sale through social media by using that content? So at first, I didn't feel it yet, but I found the secret. And that secret is calling in the right clients using AI in a way that no one else is doing. No one else is talking about how to do it this way. So it's pretty revolutionary. That's the title of this entire presentation. And they're not using it yet, right? But there's one piece that almost every AI tool is missing, and this is our next giveaway, isn't it? Even
Oh,
ChatGPT,
oh, that's a hint right there.
yeah, even Bard, and I don't know this one. Which one is this?
This is Claude. This is ChatGPT's competitor.
Oh, right. Yes,
Yeah.
Claude. Right. So it's exactly why I didn't make any sales using ChatGPT for my content at first.
Can anybody guess why? So this is a second trivia or second
Second
question.
trivia.
If
Who
anybody
can
guesses
guess?
this, you will get the prize today. So
Hmm.
drop
Okay,
some
so Tim
drop
says
some
not focus content. Carlin says old data.
data.
Kim says no focus on the target market.
Mhm.
Linda's not sure. Anyone else?
Anybody have a
Well, could we give
human
like a
input,
human
personality?
input? Hey, that's actually a really good one, Laura, and we should talk about this later. Um,
Oh, content needs to
personality.
speak to pain points of the client. Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
one. It's
that is really good, Deanna.
very closely related to this.
Yep. Text lacks power
Let's
graphics.
give
Well,
a little
yeah.
hint. Let's give a little hint. It's
Yeah, let's give a hint.
a six letter word.
Yeah, beginning with
Actually, S.
six-letter
Actually,
word. Go ahead.
with your way of sharing it, it's actually a little bit. It's 3 words, but we're specifically looking for a 6-letter word
Yeah.
here. This is being a
Wordy champion.
nice.
That's good.
That doesn't help.
That
Not the
doesn't
best
help.
at giving the hint there. So let's do this.
I still want to give this thing away
Let's
though.
give let's
Oh,
give
senses, Lori. That's a really good guess.
sexting. Wow.
So what? Okay.
Let's give it to the closest one here. So I feel like Deanne is the closest one. So congrats,
Deanna.
Deanne. You got the second prize for today. So
Awesome.
Deanne and Carolyn, let's make sure that you guys get taken care of.
Awesome.
All right. Cool. So here we go. Here's what we're missing. Systems, right? Systems. Yeah. Very specifically, and specifically with what Melissa is amplifying is rapid research systems.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Back to me, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So in order to make sales, you need to have the right research systems in place, not sort of this like, I'm not really sure what I need to know about my client or how to go about actually getting the information.
Thanks, Greg.
Oh, systems is 7 characters. Oh man, we threw everybody off, didn't we?
Yeah. We still have a winner.
Yes, that's fine. What's happening?
Oh, sorry.
There we go. It's you. It's user error over there, Christian.
Yeah.
So you need to bring your customers through that buyer's journey that we talked about. And you need to speak directly to the proper sales triggers, those emotional triggers. This is a quote from someone that went through this program and they said, what took me 6 months to do with ChatGPT, I just did in 5 minutes with Mass. It's totally true. It's amazing. So I built a tool just for that. It's a systematic approach to performing the rapid buyer's research that you need to do using AI, but you're creating the buyer's journeys. You're creating content that converts. You're creating irresistible offers. That's actually going to be part of what we're going to talk about later too. And there's much, much more to it. And it's been created in such a way that if you wanted to, you could have your VA learn it and do it for you, just like that.
Wait a minute. Let's hold up on this for a second. So
all right.
This is a this is where we have one of two sides happen. There's either like the super skeptical side, like you can have a VA do this, and there's super like, oh my God, I need this, right? Like this is crazy. Let's address both of those. So we about 2 years ago, we were building systems with coaches, and like one of the things that we came across was, you know, if you can build a system that's so easy that would handle some of the skill required to get the result, then you can hand it off to a team member much more effectively. And so our focus shifted from like, instead of us trying to acquire a skill, how about let's build a system that can easily move through that skill process to get the result. And when we found AI, we're like, whoa, you could actually upload this onto AI and have the AI execute a lot of those things that would be required to get the result through the skill. And so that's what we mean by that is like you can actually teach a VA or a team member a system, have them run the system. The learning curve is going to be about a week and a half for them to actually learn it instead of 6 months, a year, 2 years down the line to develop a skill, right? So it's really, really, really powerful when you start to see, pull back and see like, should I focus on skills or should I focus on systems? And this is one of the secrets that we found with scaling businesses to a high level is let's focus on building systems, a systematic approach to get the result that we want to create. So
Nice.
drop a one in the chat if that opened up some potential for you and you want to explore this a little bit more about building systems instead of skills. Todd, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Amber, absolutely.
I mean,
All right.
I'm a fan because honestly, I want to get myself out as possible out of the
Yeah.
doing so that I can be more of the overall business owner and move things forward and scale.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't get me wrong, skills are great, but the learning curve behind developing a skill can be the thing in the way from most people and getting the result.
Hmm.
So if we can speed up the learning curve and if we can systematically approach the skill where we can hand off that skill to the people that are going to execute it, well, guess what? We can start to scale really quickly,
Yeah,
right? So for you
absolutely.
twos in the room, this is what we did to go to a 3 is focus on systems instead of skills.
Yes.
Cool.
So good.
So
Yeah. There you
boom,
go.
right? This is the next kind of level of that. So when we started seeing the vision for mass, what we said is how do we build systems on top of AI so anybody could interface with them and do buyer research, viral content, offers, basically anything that's required to build an online business specifically for different types of business owners in a matter of minutes instead of months or years. Right. And that's the big vision with Mass. And that's what we found with Melissa when we partnered up. We're like, whoa, this is a match made in heaven. Melissa's an expert when it comes to developing brands. What if we were to add the element of developing brands and layer that into AI? And now we can approach some of the top brands, that want to go to the next level and understand how to do rapid research to bring up to open up new profit pockets and new potential for these brands, what would normally take them months or a team full of people to do in a matter of minutes. And
Yeah.
so,
And can I share something about that?
sure.
All right, real quick. So earlier on, as I was working through this and really like diving into the research components of this, I had someone approach me who is the owner of a business that works with really large companies, and they're
Ooh.
in a tech industry, metaverse industry. And I just said, look, I want to just see what happens. Like, I don't even
Mhm.
like, I want to put this through its paces and let's see what happens. So I took some data points. We're going to show you that. I have a demo of this in a minute, but I said, let me like give me those data points and let's see what comes out of it. And he was blown away and he started to see, he goes, yeah, he looked at the results. He goes, yep, yep, yep. And then he goes, oh gosh, I didn't even think about the legal and ethical concerns that my target audience may have about this. That's really
Mm.
interesting. Maybe we should talk about that in our content. And lo and behold, he came back to me and wants me to do rapid research consulting for him for on multiple different avatars with multiple different problems so that they
Wow.
can actually start a ad campaign and start A/B testing and doing all the things because he shared with me, hey, we're not getting leads and I need this.
Wow.
And he's got a
S-
marketing team and everything, but they're not, they all they focused on was demographics. They didn't get into this deep research on the psychographic side. Hopefully people are following me when I use those terms, but
Powerful
that was a
stuff.
big,
Yeah.
amazing thing for me. Yeah.
Powerful. Thanks for sharing that. So, can you imagine like you have these enterprise level companies approaching you and saying, "Hey, you know, what you just did showed me a whole new way of presenting in front of the right type of people." What would that do for your business?
Yeah.
Right? Think about what that would do for your business. Enterprise level companies, and now you have a tool where you could even potentially use this type of methodology of approaching them if you're a business coach and say, hey, look, we can provide some really powerful data to open up new opportunities for you and enter new markets that you probably would have never seen before.
Yeah.
Super valuable, right? Drop a one in the chat if you would find that valuable for your business, or if you could think of ways where you could potentially expand into new markets yourself by leveraging this type of data and leveraging this type of momentum with your business. Pretty
Yeah,
powerful, right?
it is.
Awesome.
It's amazing. All right. Well, we always start by setting the stage for success. And Abraham Lincoln said that if he had 6 hours to chop down a tree, he'd spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. And that's kind of what we're talking about here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So months or years of research. And I'm getting a bit of an echo. Are you
Lori's
hearing that on your side?
no.
No.
Yeah,
Good.
I can hear it a
Lori's
little bit.
You
Lori
can.
said one of my favorite quotes. Yeah, it's a powerful quote.
It is. Yes. So months and even years of research. And I want to say this, just pause for a second, because what that typically meant for most people is that you would end up spending time on, interviewing your clients. You'd spend time on, sending out surveys or Googling or things like that. That's what we're talking about when we say this. And now we can do all of that in a matter of minutes. And so I want to tie this into why that's important for actually making sales. So this is Christian's going to jump in here in a second, but this is a case study of what we did. This is some research that came out of the system, and Christian's going to talk about how this actually panned out for them, for their
Yeah, so
clients.
this is actually one of our case studies that we've done, and we were basically just did this research. It took about 5 minutes to extract the research and about 15 minutes to build a page. What would normally take me at least a week to do. But we injected it onto a page, and this was the result. So we started at about 48% opt-in rate, which was like unheard of. Previously, we were at about a 10% opt-in rate. And then we went up to a 63% opt-in rate. We're like, what in the world is going on? So, we realized in this moment, the big breakthrough here was, okay, the research needs to absolutely be dialed in. And when you spend the time to do the research properly, which is, night and day compared to what it was before, you can get results like this. And that translated all the way across the board, 61.54, about 56,000 in front end revenue and about 135,000 in back end revenue. And the question that came through the chat, thanks for asking that. I love this previous commitment. 2 thumbs up. Nice. Thanks, Daniel.
Thanks,
okay.
Daniel.
Are you sending traffic to these pages for opt-ins? Yes, absolutely. We were sending them through an email list, and we also have an ads case study too with an SLO, self-liquidating offer, that's rushing it right now. And so we can share some insight into those as we progress, maybe towards the end of the presentation. But we just want to really paint the picture of like why this is important and what it could do in terms of transforming your business when you do the research side properly.
Yep. So I think this is my cue to kind of stop.
Share screen.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, exit the full screen for a minute and move you guys over to here. All right.
Are you guys enjoying this so far? Drop a
Yeah.
1 in the chat if you're having a good time with us. We really appreciate your feedback. We hope that you find this valuable. Awesome.
Everybody says awesome. Kim's smiling. I love that.
Amazing.
Wait, so Linda dropped a 2. What does that mean, Linda? You're not enjoying it? All right, cool. Does everybody see my screen? This Word doc? I can't see the chat at the moment. So
yeah, we can see it.
On their head. All right, cool. So this, I just wanted to show you the results that I did for one of my clients. So, and then I'm going to show you in the system. We're going to try and do a really quick demo of what the system can do to show you how fast it is. But essentially, what I did was I started with a problem that she solves, so micro problem that she solves. We figured out her target audience, and then we wanted to know like what was the way in which she would solve it. The system does an optimization round, and so we optimize the data to do these focus points here. Or sorry,
Can
these
can I share something
components?
too, Melissa?
You may. Yep.
So if you scroll back up a little bit, there's a very specific reason why we're starting with these 3 data points here. We want to understand the what. We want to understand like what we can focus on, what kind of problems we can solve. We want to understand the audience, the who, and then we want to understand the how and the why. Now, why do we address how and the why? Can anybody tell me in the chat? we had a conversation about this earlier. In fact, somebody won a nice prize because of it. But why would we address how and why? This right here can literally change your conversions like 2 to 10x pretty much overnight if you really, really internalize this. And so that's why I want to drill down on it. If anything to walk away, this is definitely a golden nugget. But when you change your messaging from why to who, depending on where they're at on the sophistication level, if they're more problem unaware or problem aware, we want to focus on why messaging. If they are more solution aware or offer aware, we want to focus on how messaging. And this will translate all the way across your messaging, all the way across your campaigns. So understand where they're at in the journey and then adapt your messaging, why or how. Make sense? Awesome.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So when we did this, there's some data here, but I want to show you. This was some of the optimized data that came out of those first 3 points. So what the system is doing is actually just showing you some other potential problems that might come up for your niche that you could run the research on these as well. It also gives you additional sub niches you could focus on for your research, so you could get some really granular data out of that. And then it also gives you potential other focus points, those the why or the how, as Christian was saying. But the first set, once you decide what you're going to run your entire research campaign on, then we get into the meat of the matter. So we start to find out what obstacles people are having. And just to quickly show you, the ideal client for Suzanne is someone who's actually a six-figure earner already, but is actually bored in their business. So stuck doing the same thing, it doesn't excite them anymore, and they really want to open up new possibilities, and she can help them do that. So
Nice. That's great.
yeah, when we went through this together, what we ended up with was, these kinds of obstacles, and that's actually how she determined, oh my gosh, yeah, they have habits and routines and things that are no longer serving them, right?
Yeah.
That was one that was really important to her. Then it was achieving the desires. They need to reconnect with their original purpose and mission. So she chose that one as the one she wants to go with. Some of these common beliefs, negative
Melissa, can I
beliefs.
share something too
Yeah,
with this?
sure.
So what are these data points here that we're getting back? Why is it important to address these data points? Well, through your buyer's journey, these are the steps that people must go through in order to be on the other side. So in other words, they need to go through an obstacle because that obstacle is in the way for them to get the result. If we can come in as the expert and provide them a way forward through that obstacle, boom, we can gain more trust and authority with that person than any screenshot or testimonial will ever do. Why? Because we've created that experience with that person. And this is the difference between attracting clients and creating new clients at will, right? So if we can create a system that will bring somebody through an obstacle and we can address that obstacle with them and provide that breakthrough, we've gained trust and authority with them in the market. And so this is why we build our buyer's journeys to address these specific pain points, negative beliefs, common enemies. What are these things? Well, these are the things that come up that would prevent them from getting that result. So we can help them through our buyer's journey, create value, thus creating trust and authority with them. And that brings them from problem unaware or maybe solution aware into brand or authority aware, right? And then the next step is offer aware or most aware. What are the questions that they ask? And so what you're seeing on the screen right here is those types of questions. Take it back, Melissa.
Yeah. So this is literally like, you can just see there's just more and more and more that the system is turning out for her potential client or her ideal client. And some of this stuff is stuff that she had not thought about. And that was so amazing. I mean, some of the things she's like, yep, 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 that makes sense. And some of it inspired new ideas for her as well, which is, I think, is really important too. Sometimes we are all stuck in our own rut of what we say and how we approach our potential clients, but this actually gets you out of that rut and introduces new ideas for you. Um, and yeah, so you can see this is just incredible, and it just keeps going. So lots and lots and lots of really good data. I'm gonna,
Would you mind scrolling up just a little bit and
you bet.
one last thing
Oops.
I'll share with you around this. So counterintuitive approach
Oh,
and
you want to go there?
unexpected solution, if you hone in on that one a little bit,
Yeah, sure. Got it.
these are what creates what is called this is a writer downer, and it may or may not be a trivia question, but this is what creates what's called a knowledge gap. Has anybody ever heard of that before? Knowledge gap? Yes, we had a few people. Awesome, awesome,
Anna,
awesome,
yep. Kim says yes.
awesome. So knowledge gap, for those that are unaware of this is a really interesting topic. And the way that we create a knowledge gap, and let's define what a knowledge gap is. It's basically the wisdom that the expert has versus the wisdom that the knowledge that the, let's say, amateur has, and the gap in between. But there's a very specific story with probably one of the most famous knowledge gaps, and that's with P90X. P90X created a knowledge gap that was so powerful in the market that it created a multi-million dollar brand, like boom, like super fast. And what was that knowledge gap? It was muscle confusion. So basically they entered a market and they said, instead of doing, these crazy trainings, instead of going on diets, why don't you do these very short, intense interval exercises, like 10-minute sprints? And when you do that, you create muscle confusion and you lose weight much faster, but you also gain lean muscle mass much faster too. And here's the result. And when they did that, the market pounced. Wow, boom, multi-million dollar brand, right? Like crazy stuff. So when you hone in on this stuff and you present it properly, that's the type of power. Now, if you were to break down the mechanics of a knowledge gap, the formula is pretty simple. It's going to be a counterintuitive approach. Write this down. A counterintuitive approach with an unexpected solution as the outcome. That is the formula for a knowledge gap. And basically, we laid this into AI to produce multiple knowledge gaps so we can enter new markets and show new ways of doing things that maybe somebody would be interested in. Like they kind of have a little bit of information about it, but because you presented it in such a unique way, it creates this curiosity loop that goes, whoop, oh man, I want to check that out. That's really interesting. Pretty powerful, right?
That's incredible. And I don't think I've heard you say it quite that way before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's really good. Cool. Okay. So you guys have seen this. I think you want to want me to show you the actual system. Am I right? Like, does everybody want to see that now?
Anybody want to see that? Pretty cool.
I mean, because we can just go on if you don't want to really see the way the system looks. Oh, wait a minute. Dustin says yes. Linda says yes.
Awesome. You
Luann's
guys having a
iPhone
good
says
time so
yes.
far? Everybody's still with us?
Everybody excited
I see
with
some
it.
people writing some notes down. That's amazing. Nice work.
So
Nice work.
good. Cool, cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna jump into the system then. Let's do it.
Cool.
You guys see it? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, all right. So this is what it looks like, you guys. At the top here, I don't want to get too into the granular details, but I want to show you, first and foremost, this is what we're talking about when we talk about systems. So you see that this here leads you down this path. All of these start campaigns are those components I just showed you that I was able to pull out so quickly for my client. When we switch over to this section, then it's using all those components to create things like your buyer persona, the journal entries, sort of like the day in the life of your buyer, figuring out the reasons to buy and the stages of awareness where we just talked about that's the buyer's journey right there.
Holy.
What's the
Nice.
heaven and hell scenarios for them? And then when you go through that piece of it, then you can go into the campaign research, which gets you a little bit more. It creates those knowledge gaps that Christian was just talking about, the angst and metaphors and things like that. And then once that is all done, you guys, then, and I'm gonna just do this right quick because I think it'll be kind of cool. But just showing you guys, look, this is all of the content. We haven't even talked about that yet, but like now you get to take everything that you created and you can start doing all the social media, your blog posts, your newsletters, your lead magnets, your etc. So I just wanted to very quickly
Amazing.
show you that. But
Amazing. There's one thing.
yep,
If you go to campaign research too, I want to see kind of where the audience is with this. Has
yeah.
anybody ever heard of angst before? Yeah, cool, cool. Can anybody
Like
describe
define
what
it.
that is?
Ooh, should that be a giveaway or we want to do something later? on that topic.
Ooh, yeah. Let's see if somebody gets this, the angst. If they get it, then they get the prize, the last prize for today.
Okay, so Deanna says frustration. Kim says pain.
Okay.
Laura says it's a feeling of stress and frustration. Carlin says
Irritable,
irritable, pull hair out.
hair out. Nice.
hmm Lori
Uneasy.
says uneasiness,
Yeah. Cool. Those are all really great answers. Pushback.
pushback,
Yeah. Amazing. You guys
causes
are
stress and
amazing. You guys are on it. That's great. So based on this, I would say worry is a good one. When you need to
hmm
fix something, but you don't have the tools to do it.
Ooh,
Charlotte,
that's good,
awesome.
Charlotte.
Yeah, I would say the closest one is going to be Laura. Laura, if you have not won the prize yet, who do we have that won the prize? It was Carlin. It was who was the
Was it
second person?
Deanna? It was Deanna, yeah.
We'll make sure we get you guys the prizes. And
And then
and sorry,
Laura.
Laura.
She's
Okay.
sending. Yeah,
Laura just won too. So we have
yeah,
the three, right?
yeah.
Let's
Yep.
clarify exactly what this means. This is a writer downer. Exactly what this means. This will transform your messaging on ways that you probably never thought possible. And it's one of the things that we build into our offers and are able to sell anywhere between 10 and 30K by really understanding this premise here. So angst is going to be the cost of not solving the problem. What I mean by that specifically is the physical, emotional, and monetary cost of not solving the problem. When you can clearly demonstrate those pain points to your audience correctly, it will get them to move forward. If you don't demonstrate the angst to them, it won't be important enough for them to move forward. And so this is where you would get the objection of, I'm not sure if this is for me, that type of thing, because I don't see the value quite yet. You can handle that by demonstrating the angst, the cost of not solving the problem. So this is what's on the other side of that. We also relate to that or describe that in our heaven and hell kind of scenario. What's the big kind of grand vision that we can paint for them when they solve the problem? And what's the hell that is associated with not solving the problem as well? Make
hmm
sense? Cool.
Yep. Awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
Amber, if you can write down our winners too.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just show you real quick how fast this can be. And I'm gonna start with, I think that I had saved this here. So you're loading up a profile. This is what I did ahead of time. I just pulled all of those data points I showed you earlier. And
Amazing.
then I'm gonna go in here and I'm just gonna generate the text. And you're gonna see how fast you get the first set of data. This is the optimization round. And then once and actually, Christian, can I go to the next one and start that one, or do I have
You're
to
gonna
wait?
have to duplicate and refresh just so you profile in correctly.
Okay, so just
But
pull
you
it
could
over
run
here.
through that sprint. Oh, just
Is that what you
duplicate
mean?
your tab. This
Oh, I
tab
didn't know I
here.
could do that.
Yep,
There you
duplicate
go.
that.
Cool
And
beans.
then make
Okay,
sure you
got it.
pull that profile down. And then you can go through all the campaigns after that really fast.
Got it. Okay, so there it is. So we'll do
Yep.
that. We'll generate that text.
You don't need to duplicate anymore. Just go to the top and then go
Okay.
to start campaigns 3 and then generate.
Cool. Okay. And then I'll generate.
And from here, it's just rapid fire, right? It's just go to the next step, generate, go to the next step, generate.
Oops.
There's going to be a little error. That's the one I was telling you about
Yep.
right now because of our API switch.
Okay,
so
let me just go back to the ones we already did. So
Yeah.
if I start now, if you go back here, now this was the optimized data that we pulled up, right? So, as I said earlier, kind of the other options you could use to optimize the rest of your research. And then if we go back to these ones and we go to campaigns 2, suddenly we have all of our common obstacles, and it includes your desires. And then we go up to here, we go to this third section. It's still kind of working on it, but boom, there it is. Negative
common beliefs, negative
common
beliefs, yeah.
insecurities, enemies, etc. Heaven and hell, Laura says she loves that. So what do you guys think? Isn't that amazing? I thought it was pretty amazing.
So check
I'm gonna
this out. This is on the research side, but we've also snowballed this into content, and not
yeah,
just content, but content for every social platform.
yeah.
So same process, same system approach, but imagine it's pulling in viral templates that are platform specific, and we're able to generate content for every single social platform.
Mhm.
Right, that's the kind of the next stage, but just wanted to give you a little insight of what's possible with the system, and also building out offers and building out funnels and building out emails and building out like all those different types of things.
Mhm. Yeah.
Those prompts can vary for any type of offer, any type of product, any type of service, high ticket, low ticket, macro, micro, sophistication levels, major time saver.
Yeah. And one thing I want to point out too is that we're like the reason that I was so excited about this and why I signed on with Christian and Amber is that it was not just here's a system and I know I'm kind of like going ahead of myself, but here's a system, go ahead and go do it. What happens is we get to work together and they're training us on all of this marketing, the concepts and how to use them and implement them. To me, the implementation piece was the biggest issue because I think in the past, I've purchased all kinds of programs and then wasn't really sure exactly how to implement things. And that's really been kind of a big game changer here too. So it's the system and it's the implementation. Laura says she'll be back for the last 30 minutes.
Laura,
Thank
yes,
you, Laura.
definitely we'll share the recording with you.
Carlin says, does it take the content from the campaigns you generated directly?
Yes. There's a manual input that you do with it, but you just basically the reason why the research is there is so we can grab the required data points, snowball it into the content, snowball it into the backend systems like emails and funnels and those things, kind of what you saw earlier. And that will create a campaign based off of the research.
Yeah. Charlotte is asking, how does it vary across type of business and industry?
Basically, it's underlying the context with the frameworks that we loaded onto AI. So we're telling the AI and training the AI specifically what to look out for based on the data that you put in, the dynamic data. So you could say like this type of person, the AI would then take that data and say, go, pull this research for this type of person and this specific psychological framework for that type of person. And then it brings it forward. And then we have a way to refine from there as well.
Yeah, yeah, and we have a new person joining us. I don't know how long they've been in the waiting room. Hopefully not too long. Sorry, Kelly.
It was
Um,
Greg. He's just coming back in.
Okay,
oh,
cool.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
there's another
Oh,
person that just came in too. But
perfect. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and actually
Greg's wife.
I want to just jump on that too because that's why I did the beta program I did with
Mhm.
using Mass AI because I wanted to see I have a bunch of different clients they have different ideal clients, completely different. What was I going to get out of this system, with those different avatars and those different problems and
Mhm.
solution combinations? And that's what was so powerful to me was this can handle anything. I mean,
Yep.
everything
Yep.
from this guy who has metaverse, technology
Right.
to somebody who is literally she does human design and
Mhm.
she's an intuitive. I mean, those are vastly different
Yeah,
worlds.
night and day.
Yeah. So,
Amazing.
all right. So, who's on the ball here, Christian? You or me on this one?
That's you. So,
That's me. Okay.
yep.
So, what if we took this approach, so the systematized approach that you see, and then we pair it with brand development
Ooh.
expertise?
Wow.
So, what if your brand called in your dream clients so you don't have to waste days, weeks, and months marketing to them? And you had a brand that clients would rave about. Most AI tools or online tools aren't designed to address specific requirements that are consistent for making sales. And that's why we build Mass AI just for that. We want to fill the gaps that are required to drive sales to your business. So I want to know if you guys are okay if we share the secrets of building sales making buyers journeys in record time. How do we do it? And you do this without spending years and months. I don't know what you said there, but it was on that slide.
Oh,
But
sorry.
literally most coaches and consultants, this is what happens. They overlook the importance of proper buyer's research, but I know you guys do not do that because we've seen that. And some of them think they already know their audience well enough.
I know I did for sure. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I already know my audience. No, I didn't know my audience this well, right? Until we really drilled into the system. That was definitely a big one for me.
Yeah. And that's why when we post and we go, "Oh my God, that thing hit. I wonder why." Or that thing didn't hit. Why didn't that hit? I thought for sure that my audience would love that post I just did and would be, grabbing my lead magnet. But that's
This
what's
also
going on.
brings up this. Sorry to cut you off, Melissa, but
No, it's all right.
this also brings up a really important golden nugget, I believe. It's one thing to do it. It's another thing to understand why it works.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The difference between doing it and understanding why it works is the difference between a sale here and there and consistent compounding sales. Make sense? So now I know for sure when we were stuck kind of like in the 1 to 2, kind of bouncing back and forth, like we hit that big, revenue ceiling and then we dropped. It's because we didn't understand why it was working. When we started deconstructing the things that were working and internalizing them and systematizing them, boom, that's when everything started to kick. And now with what's possible with AI, we're saying, okay, we load this onto AI, we systematically approach AI from this perspective. Now everyone can take the same results that we got and inject it into their business and have their VAs do it, have their team members do it, grow other businesses doing this, right? So we rapidly saw like, oh my gosh, this is crazy what's possible. And that's how this combination of us and Melissa, we started saying what's possible with development, with brand development and proper research. What's possible? Melissa, let's take your expertise. Let's combine it with what we know on approaching systems with AI. Let's take the rapid research side and let's exponentially grow brands through this process. Bam. That's what we are sharing with you today.
Yeah, because I want to listen, I've been in business for 5.5 years and I freaking wish I had this knowledge and I had this opportunity, years ago because I wasted, it's never a waste, I know that, but I felt like I wasted all this time where I could have been way farther along in my business if I had this. So you might think that you can't compete with other coaches who already have a loyal client base. You might think you're not good enough at marketing to attract the right clients, but it's not true because all you need is this secret and to get this kind of sales.
This is the type of results that is brought for us. Consistent 17K paid in fulls. This amazing screenshot that you see right here that's full of all kinds of results. Yeah, there's something wrong with that. So we want to, what's the big secret here? So, what's the big takeaway after all this information? I know it's a powerful jam-packed series of information and kind of like, but what's the, what's the big secret here? Right? What are these guys doing so well? Well, let's go back. Never mind.
Okay.
Most people are doing what we call spaghetti posts. And this is kind of where I'm going to chime in, Melissa, if that's cool.
Yeah, sure.
Because I want to go into the content side of things and how we start to snowball this into content and other assets and campaigns. So we've got, the good grasp of research and what we can do very rapidly. Is that resonating with everyone so far? Drop a 1 in the chat if you're still with me there. Amazing. You guys are on it. Woo. Yep, nice. Cool.
It. Okay, good.
So, but we discovered something with content that will absolutely change your business. It changed our business forever. And this is a totally different concept. But we've combined these two to rapidly accelerate sales. Would it be okay if I shared that with you today, right now? Let me pull this up. So this is something that we call content funnels. Now, content funnels is the next layer of information. When you have this research laid out, how do you actually start generating sales, right? That's the question. How do you take a data set that, like we showed you right now, that will create a buyer's journey that will take somebody from cold to enrolled, but how do we actually get it out in front of them? And so that is this process here. I'm going to have to share my screen a different way. This is what we found with content. So previously we were doing something called, and maybe you can relate with this, maybe not, but we were doing this, what we call spaghetti posting. We were taking a topic and we were, thinking about the topic, and we were saying, okay, let's put some really great copywriting behind it. It's all right, right? We'd spend an hour staring at a blank screen and we're like, this is an amazing post, crickets. What in the world is going on? Then we would say, okay, next day, let's hope and pray a client comes in. Next day, same process, right? Amazing copywriting. Let's spend an hour shooting a video. Let's do a live. 2 or 3 people chime in, hope and pray. Not so much. Then we're like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? Well, let's understand the buyer's journey a little bit here. Let's understand where they're at and what needs to be done to systematically leverage content to bring somebody through a buyer's journey. And this is what we call content funnels. Yes,
Christian, can you just make that a little bit bigger? I'm not sure if people can really see what's on that slide.
Yeah, my bad.
Well.
There we go.
Yeah.
Is that a little
Maybe
better?
even a little bit bigger than that. Yeah.
Sure.
I can barely see it, and I've got my contacts in today.
Yeah, good
There we
point.
go.
That's great.
Good point. Thank you.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Much better.
Yeah.
Are you guys still with me? Drop a 1 in the chat.
Yep.
Yeah. Boom. Okay,
Everybody's
cool.
there. Good.
Okay, so we were doing this on Facebook at first. And what we found was when we approached content in a 7-day sprint to 10-day sprint, instead of just hoping and praying, even with really good copy behind it, we would spend hours doing the copy. We would spend like all this time learning how to do copywriting. But then we switched our approach and we said, why don't we do a content campaign? Why don't we do 7 days on the same topic and address all the specific points that need to be addressed in order to move somebody through a buyer's journey? So we need to validate the idea. We need to tell a story. We need to handle internal objections, external objections. We need to tell a transformation A to B story. We need a pre-sell, and we need a transactional step in that process. What we found was we condensed the sales process on average from about 90 days to about 7 to 14 days. From about 10 hours of consumed content, which is pretty tough, to about 2 to 3. And when we had people going through our content funnel, they would find us somewhere in the internet ghetto, inside a Facebook group or something like that. And they would say, hey, I found you in a Facebook group. I hit your profile. Boom, right? Whoa, this is my type of person. You've got some interesting stuff going on. Click. What's this? Facebook group, click. What's this offer? Oh, cool. I want to check that out. $67 per month. Then they would say things like, hey, through the course of a day, I found you. First, a few hours later, I'm buying your $67 product. Now, over the course of the weekend, I'm inside of your high ticket program. How is that done? How did you do that? Content funnels. Content funnels are the key to doing that. So it's a systematic approach to campaign content that will basically lay a buyer's journey inside of your content. And that's how we take this research data and move it into content. Make sense?
Yeah.
Right?
Do you guys get that?
You
I
guys
feel
still
like
with it?
people are processing it.
Yeah.
Yep. Linda said, yeah.
Awesome,
Carlin says
awesome,
1.
awesome.
Justin says yes.
Okay, so what the system can do as we're developing it, there's still some development phases going on, but all said and done, when the system is fully optimized, we'll be able to do around 25 posts per day. That can go out to every single social platform in record time, right? So we can now have the be everywhere effect that all the big dogs have. Gary Vee and all these guys are talking about posting. Well, if you want to spend 6 to 10 hours a day doing that, then that's cool. But most people don't have the time or the patience to do it. So we're able to condense what would be done in about 6 to 10 hours a day with a small team into about 3 to 5 hours per week, spreading that content across every single social platform. Imagine if you had the ability to shotgun, boom, campaigns out to a large audience and gain organic traffic that you can then use to bring into your ecosystems, into your buyer's journey, into your sales process. And then you could totally amplify that whole thing by potentially even going down the paid ads road. And that's kind of where we're at right now with this process. But this
Yeah.
is the content funnels approach.
Can I bust in here for 1 second and just
Sure.
because what comes to mind for me, and this is what happened when I first met you guys, was like, oh, but yeah, it's not going to sound like me, and it's not going to be
Nah,
my brand, and all that stuff. And what I have witnessed now and what I've experienced is that what you're talking about here are frameworks for the post.
yes.
So
Yes.
it's like multiple things. You're layering in the buyer's research components that are specific to the journey into a proven framework that has worked for other people, for some of these big time, influencers. And then you're going back in, and it's yes, it's a little bit of extra work, but what it is it's then you're dialing in your brand, your tone of voice, the kinds of words you would use, your personality, that kind of thing, your story even. Like, people talk a lot about
Nailed it.
storytelling. Absolutely. You still include that there. You do not lose anything about your brand here. I wouldn't be
So
doing
good.
this if I thought that were the case.
So good, Melissa. Really good point. And you just nailed it right on the head, right? It's about frameworks.
Yep.
It's about taking the structure of what's working and even on platforms. So we basically scanned Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and found what was working platform specific, pulled it into our system and replicated that with dynamic data and having the AI actually write it, structured exactly the way, maintaining that framework with the new layer of data that we have injected into it. Pretty crazy stuff. What's possible nowadays with this AI stuff.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's content funnels. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's get back into slides here. Let me pull this one up for you, Melissa, and I'm going to hand it back off to you. Hopefully you guys found that valuable. If you have any questions on that, I'll be happy to answer those towards the end.
Yeah, actually, Carolyn has a question. She said, how often are you pulling the framework intel? As you know, social algorithms change all the freaking time.
Yeah, really good question. So we have something that we're launching this week where it's scanning for, and the system will have this built into it in the near future, where we can scan viral posts in real time and we can deconstruct them and pull them into the frameworks. Now, we're also putting out kind of like a newsletter type thing where we'll show what's trending, and we also layer into the AI the framework behind that, so you can replicate that and catch that growth spurt that's coming because of the algorithm reach with that particular piece of content.
I know people are actually starting to ask about how much this costs, so I feel like we should kind of move a little faster.
Yeah,
but
let's go into that if you don't mind.
Yeah.
We got into touch points a little bit. That's definitely the secret that these guys are doing, right? What are these guys doing that's so effective? Well, we talked about it a little bit. It's using content as a touch point, and touch points specific to the buyer's journey.
Yeah.
Right. Specific to psychological frameworks that address the touch points required to create the sale. Makes sense? So this is what's underneath the hood. If you were to deconstruct what these guys are doing, because we've deconstructed it and we injected that directly into our AI system.
Okay.
So you won't have to, do the cold outreach, offer free consultations, and that type of thing. So this is our proprietary system for A-grade brand, viral content, and sales combination, right? Melissa is building the brand with you. Mass AI is producing the content and the rapid research required to build the brand. And so you have the best of these worlds colliding. Boom.
Yep.
Right? Powerful stuff.
So good. All right.
So this can be used for any product or service. Melissa, if you want to kind of take it from there. We won't
Yep.
go into the demo right now just because I know we're having that that
Well,
threshold issue.
we kind of already did.
Yeah.
Yep. And so we kind of showed them how fast that could be. So as we said, now you know you can go viral and create sales. To me, it's less about the viral and more about the buyer's journey and
Yeah.
getting those people to. So now what's next? So how about we ascend buyers into high margin offers that are simple to fulfill and create raving reviews? Maximize the lifetime value of your client with a program. And then you can double or even triple your profits. And this is going to become important too when you see some of the bonuses we're going to show you today. So you're going to easily be able to sell products and your services daily just by getting them into your ecosystem. And that's how we create the rapid thing that we showed you earlier. So Todd has some questions. What's the cost? Is there a URL where we can read up on the product, service, or software? And is there a trial? Those are good questions.
Absolutely. Let's get into that. First, I want you to think, before we get into that, I want you to think about, what would your business look like? Let's say 30 days from now. Let's say 60 days from now. Let's say a year from now. If you had the best of both worlds working in your favor in the corner with you, right? If you had the expertise, the brand development that's required to grow your own legacy brand, right? Your personal legacy brand, and the tools and the copywriting power and content that can get that brand in front of people. What would it look like? Pretty powerful, right? That's where we're at right now with this time. That's exactly where we're at. What we said earlier, you're going to have people that ride the wave and go boom all the way to the top with it. And you're going to have people that get replaced. Unfortunately, I don't want to cause fear, but that's just the nature of where we're at right now. What path do you want to choose? I know for sure where we're going, and I hope that you come with us. I'd be so happy to have you with us. And the potential is just insane. Yep. So can we share with you what we believe is probably the best offer on the internet? Hopefully.
Yep.
You be the judge of that.
Yeah. And then they can get a prize if they find something better.
Yeah. Yep. What took us about 3 years of investing, over 250K and thousands of hours of research and development. Hopefully that shined through today. You can see the power of what we have, in this system, and working with some of the great minds that, coaches that have created some of the top influencers and multi-million-dollar brands in the world. That's why we're able to build this, is because we're sitting in the rooms with these guys, right? We're understanding what's needed, what's required to create a legacy type brand like this.
Yep.
So would you guys want us to share that with you right now? Drop a 1 in the chat. You're excited about this. Awesome.
All right,
you guys
got
are
some
amazing.
Ones. Couple more. Carlin, Linda, anybody else?
You guys are absolutely amazing.
Looks like
Great.
not everybody. Should we really share it if people don't really want to?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Are you guys still with us?
What do you guys think?
I know
there's
quite a few people.
Okay.
Yes. Awesome.
Yes. No more spaghetti. I like it.
No more spaghetti.
Greg says yes.
All right.
Cool.
First, remember, for those that take action, we will include the same system we use to create buyer's journeys that led to the sales like this, valued at 10K, right? The same sales that we got, this amazing, powerful blank
like
photo that you see right here. Yes. So we're even up to 30K. So we've been known for helping people create offers, helping our clients go from a 2K or 3K offer into a 10 or a 20K offer consistently, and building systems to automate that sales process. So how would you like lifetime access to our systematic AI app? This, honestly, we're a little bit hesitant about this, but we roll it out because we're working with some amazing people. And this right here, lifetime access, is not going to be something on there very much longer. Definitely going to be changing this, right? So giving you the be everywhere effect, like the big dogs, like the big brands. So you can stuff your email list full of buyers and drive high volume of traffic directly to your offers. Then have the same system in place that create those clients at will and to send them into a deeper offer and widen your margins. Pretty powerful stuff, right?
Yep.
Would that be useful for your business right now? Would that be powerful for your business?
think
Drop a
yes.
one if you're still with us.
Yes.
Todd, Carolyn, awesome. Laura,
Yep.
you
Great.
guys are awesome. 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 So before we drive loads of traffic into your ecosystem, there's a few problems that we need to solve. The first depends on the investment. We'll get into that. Probably a lot more cost effective than you think, but we'll get into that. The first problem that we must solve is to understand your buyers more than your competitors, right? We need to outshine your competitors. How do we do that? We gave you a clear blueprint to do that today in record time. Really important. What used to take us years, right? This is an easy way to know the type of attention to drive those sales fast and simplify your content creation process, saving you 6+ hours per day, growing all of your content channels at once. It's like having your own team of brand experts, copywriters, and content creators in your back pocket. Whew, man, that excites me. I don't know about you guys, but that excites me.
For sure.
Pretty crazy stuff. Get access to the right system, produce viral content, sales assets that align with your business at scale, lifetime access to this thing. Oh my gosh. Wow. All right. So where most go wrong is they try to use ChatGPT and do it themselves. They get bogged down by tech overwhelm.
Carlin's ready. She says, spill it.
I know we were definitely in that position, but
yeah,
we need to address problem number 2. This is a big one, especially with building brands and especially with using technology.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing that comes up, right now, if you think, oh, I got this amazing app. Ooh, what's the biggest thing that comes up for you?
Well, for me, it was, I don't know how to use it, or
exactly.
I start using it and then I'm not sure what's my next step.
Learning how to use it. And where most people tend to fall off is they get tech overwhelmed. The last thing we want is you to get lifetime access to this powerful system, get excited, use it once, and leave it on the shelf. Absolutely not. We want to grow your business. We want to help you create a legacy brand. There is a little bit of a learning curve to do that, but we've seen this with some of the best tools and we solved it once and for all. How do we do that? Simple. We're actually going to use the tool with you in the room. We're going to implement with you in the room, right? So imagine being able to grow all of your social channels at once with an expert copywriter in the room so you never feel left behind. The biggest problem that we saw with these tools is that people get bogged down by tech overwhelm. They say, man, I love this tool, but I don't know how to use it. I need an expert with the tool specifically to guide me step by step through that process. Well, that's what we're going to do. And we worked with loads of high ticket clients building using tech. And it's the biggest problem that we've seen, the biggest one that we've seen, right? Most people don't want to implement on their own. Well, what if you had a container, a powerful container full of people that are doing it together so we can answer questions, go through the process, share wins, all the exciting things, and get the result with the tool. The most important thing, right?
Yeah.
You guys with me?
Yep.
So last year we solved this once and for all. Imagine laying your head down at night knowing the work is done. That's the goal with this container, knowing the work is done. Tech is not my expertise, but I'm willing to learn. As you watch your social accounts grow, your leads pile up and your sales start rolling in. There is one last problem that we must solve, right? The last problem is we must have the brand growth systems. You're going to have the content system. You're going to have the research system, but Melissa comes in and she's going to help you with your brand development as the expert level that she is.
Yeah.
I know that what
we layer that into the training and the implementation. It's all a part of the entire program.
Pretty powerful stuff. I know what she has brought to the table with our ecosystem. Oh my gosh, guys, like seriously, powerful stuff. Seriously powerful stuff. Okay. This is what we call the Blah the Bliss brand development. almost anyone can go viral these days, but can they consistently make sales through content? Can they actually grow a brand? Even if you go viral, how do you turn that content into sales? How do you grow your brand? Right? These are the things that we're going to answer inside the program. Going viral without the sales system or the branding system is like asking a chef to cook you a gourmet steak, but only giving them oil and salt. It's going to be very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you join today on this amazing offer that we made exclusively for Melissa's crew, for the people that are connected with Melissa, we're going to do some very special things for you. You're going to get access to Mass AI for life. This is not going to be publicly available. It's only privately available. It's not going to be publicly available at all in the coming soon. You're also going to get 10 weeks of group implementation with Melissa and us. You're going to get done for you systems and automation to handle the back end things that need to go down to run and grow your business. So who's ready to see the prices and the bonuses? Drop a fireball in the chat if you're ready to see the prices and the bonuses.
Todd's ready.
Wow. Been ready. Let's do it. Been ready. Let's do it. All right.
Carlin is like me. Laura's ready. Carlin's like, let's go.
You see, we've invested heavily into creating the systems, but we didn't want to make it a $99 per month product that sits on the shelf, right? We've created a model called the Fusion model, which is 40% tech, 40% systems, 20% group implementation for accountability and support, right? We probably could have charged what we charge in our EdHub programs upward of 19 to 35K. But we're definitely not going to do that today. What you're going to get is the 10-week accelerator program with Melissa and us, lifetime access to mass content, rapid research revolution, intense done with you group program. So you never feel left behind. This is going to be, understanding how to build your brand based off of the research and uncover your brand's superpower. So you get recognized like the experts, gain deep insights into your ideals client buyer triggers and get them to say yes, even if you don't know how to sell. Woo. Rapid offer level up. We're going to help you with your offer, attract dream clients that will rave about your program, and a list of crazy things. We'll cover this in the Q&A or in the frequently asked questions. I want to get to the prices. You guys want to get to the prices?
I think they are ready.
Yeah, for sure. Cool.
There's so many fireballs.
So there's so many great things that you're going to get. Yeah. It's all on the page that you're going to see here in a second, but the total value is right around $68,967. We're definitely not charging that. Do you guys want the good or the bad? Of course, there's only good news. We won't be charging anywhere near that. Not 19K, not 15K, not even 10K. Can anybody guess?
Yeah, anyone want to just make a guess as to how much we're going to charge for this today? $997. Wow. Amber says
10K,
10K, 49.97, 10K. It's all.
But wait, there's more. We have some mega bonuses for you guys. So for the first 5 people that join us today, what we're going to do is, remember we talked about inside of our 19K program, we have an offer strategy that we use to bump prices up legitimately into like the 5 or 10K price point. And we were able to do 100,000 in 45 days because of this. Well, guess what? We're actually going to build your offer for you. So we will sit in the room with you and we will take your offer through that process, bumping it up and also creating an easier yes through your enrollment calls, right? Now, why do we do this? This honestly could be worth the price of the program alone. But why do we do this? Well, you're going to get a whole bunch of traffic and a whole bunch of people looking at your offers and your brands. Of course, you need a great offer.
Yep. It's seamless. That's the next step.
Yep. Bonus number 2. This is for the first 10 people that come in from Melissa's network. We're going to offer you lifetime access to our systems built on top of Go High Level. Now, this is your automation, your backend systems, your funnels. We have invested probably about 100K into building these systems, and you're going to get access to a good amount of those inside of our system built on High Level, which is called Automation Suite. Now, just for all transparent purposes, This is as long as we have high level, which I don't see us moving away from high level, but you just never know. As long as we have high level, you will have high level. We charge anywhere between $297, $497, and annually $5,000 to have this account with our systems. You're going to get it absolutely free if you're one of the first to join us, the first 10 to join us, I should say. So be ready. First 15, this is going to be SaaS systems. So we have a couple different software solutions. This is a SaaS software solution that helps business owners grow their business. It's a lead gen system. This right now is valued at $4K. You're going to get 10 accounts with us for the year, and you'll be able to give away unlimited accounts as your own to leverage them and build your business. So people that are coming from your social channels, they're going to see what you're doing, and you're going to have something nice and juicy to put in front of them to get them through the next step of your buyer's journey. Make sense? Awesome. So let's get into the prices. Like a lead magnet, absolutely. Webinar only price is as low as $19.97. Paid in full is only $49.97. This is a steal. Jump on this. If you're ready to jump on this and be one of the first 5, the link is in the chat. Go and do it right now. Lock in your spot with the first 5, and we will have a discussion around some frequently asked questions. Are you guys ready? Go and do that right now. If you know that this is for you, lock in one of those bonuses. Make sure you snag that up. And we're going to answer some frequently asked questions.
Yep. I think that we didn't answer Todd's question all the way.
Okay. What is it?
I'm going back to it. I just clicked on something wrong here. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, Amber, can you check that out? Because I don't have
Yep,
access to
I'm
the
on
chat
it.
for some
I'm just
weird
scrolling up to
reasons.
find it. You totally got it. Let's see.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So, okay, what's the cost? We just addressed that. $4,997. Get started as low as, what was it? 14.
I
14?
believe
Those are
1997.
1997.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
So-
And then the URL to check it out. And then which is down there. Melissa just dropped the URL. And then the only other question was the trial. And I think we kind of addressed that when we talked about not having this as a $97 little thing that sits on your
good
shelf.
question. Good
So there's your last part of Todd's question.
We don't offer trials publicly right now. The reason is because we want you to think a little bit bigger than just running a prompt or running a response. This is going to be a shift in the mindset. The way that you approach the tool is far different than just getting a free trial and running it for a few days. That's why we don't offer the free trial. Now, what is the shift in thinking? Well, we need to think big, right? What's possible? What do we have at our fingertips? Let's approach this as a system, as a campaign builder. That requires an expert in the room to walk you through that process, right? So you're going to walk with us through that process to make sure that you know how to run the system. Hopefully that answers the question directly. And that way you can take what literally took us like 6 or 7 years of development and investing and shortcut that pathway into about a week, right? There is about a week to a week and a half learning curve, but you're condensing that amount of information and knowledge to get the result that would normally take about that long to do. So that's why we don't offer trials. Hopefully that answers directly. Let me know if that didn't answer directly, but hopefully it did.
Yep. And let's see, I don't know if there were any other, let's see what's going on here. Yes.
Awesome.
Let's see. I feel like there was something else.
Okay, let's go
Yeah,
into
there-
frequently asked questions. So don't forget, first 5, seriously, the cost of the program itself, right? That's why we laid that in there.
Mhm.
Mega bonus. Payment options 2 and 3. Yes, there's payment options on the page. There's actually, I think, up to triple pay, maybe quad pay. I'm not sure.
I have the page open. So the pay in full, there's let's see, and I'm not sure how this works, how it was set up, but there's a $26.97. Is that the times 2, like paid for 2?
Yep, double pay.
Yeah,
double pay, and then the 1997 is how many? I can't even do math
that's
in my
three.
Probably
head.
That's
3.
three.
That's the
Yep.
three. Yeah. Okay.
Laura, thank you
Laura
so
says she's
much
going to get
for
her prize.
joining us.
Yes.
We'll make sure that you get your prize for sure. Absolutely. Amber, you got those names jotted down? Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Our prize winners? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll be sending
Awesome.
those to you via email. All right, cool. First 5 frequently asked questions. So how long does it take to get results? Well, what we've seen usually is about anywhere between a week to 2 weeks before you first start seeing your noticeable results. Now, that's a little bit different for everyone, right? It could be getting a client. We've had people come in and do rapid research and pull a couple data points, send it off through an email. Boom. Next thing you know, client comes in, high ticket, right? We've also had people build out full systems with the campaigns too. So that could take a little bit longer. Depending on how aggressive you get with it and how you approach the system and your mindset behind it. I know Melissa has had some incredible results with the system and with what she's doing overall as a brand development expert. I would encourage you to look at this as from a commitment level. So what does that mean, right? If you're committed to this, if you work through the process with us, absolutely you will transform your business. 100% you will transform your business. I wish I had this tool 4 years ago, 3 years ago, anything like that, or this opportunity, what's happening right now, because it would shortcut at least a couple years off of our process to get where we're at right now.
Absolutely. And even the knowledge about what you guys have brought to the table in terms of like the marketing know-how that I didn't have, even as a branding expert, I didn't have that. So including that into this that's been game changing too.
Awesome. Okay, next question. How long is the branding side of things? So Melissa's got a wonderful experience lined up for you. How long does that take, Melissa, to get the brand?
I've been thinking about this because I've been thinking people want to get into the actual program very fast. So I'm thinking about a hybrid and taking this like from the perspective of we're going to spend some time on the brand and on the system every week.
Yep.
So we're actually going to be like working simultaneously.
Nice.
And I would say that the brand piece, we're going to get through those components when we do it this way. It probably would be about like 4 weeks in, you'd have that brand piece developed. So, and I think it really does depend on how long people take to actually do the work. But because we're doing implementation together in the group, and people don't have to go off and do the homework, and because that's what happens. You go off and you like do homework, and then you're like, oh, life came up and I can't do it. No, we're going to have this actually on your calendar and we're going to do it together. So that's kind of what I envision.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, cool. What does high ticket mean? This is a question for kind of newcomers. High ticket is usually between 3 and 7K. Luxury offers, really what we specialize in, is anywhere between 10 and 50K. So, we're going to legitimately craft out an offer that can be fit into one of those categories. So this is a big question that we get in terms of human emotion and human like content. Is it going to jeopardize my brand? Is it going to take away from my brand? Melissa nailed it earlier. This is producing frameworks that you will adapt to fit your brand. So what you're going to get laid out in front of you is a framework specific to the platform that you can look at, identify, change a few things, and make it fit your tone and your feel with your brand. So there shouldn't be any jeopardization of your brand there at all.
Yep. And also being able to pull in stories and things like that in the proper places. So it's all there. Yeah.
Amazing. The research side, how important is this? Why do I need it? Well, the difference between having proper research and not doing the research is going to make or break the campaign or potentially the business. And so we often see a lot of people come to us and they say, my messaging isn't hitting. It's like I'm shouting into the void. It's like, My offer is just not converting. People are ghosting me. It's not an offer problem most cases. It's not even a messaging problem most cases. It's going to be a research problem. The research will define the messaging. And people are looking in the wrong places. So they're thinking, how do I adapt the messaging? You don't adapt the messaging. You understand your audience. You don't try to, what's the word? You don't try to
Convince
teach
people.
them. You
Explain.
understand them. Explain. That's the word. That's what I was looking for. You don't try to explain. You understand the audience and you give them what they're actually looking for. If you could do this effectively, then you can shortcut your process tremendously. The difference between a sale here and there and consistent sales coming in. Making sense? Cool. Are you guys still with us? Hopefully this is helpful. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Nice.
All right. Well, we really hope that you had a wonderful experience with us today. If for some reason you have some questions, some concerns, some ideas that you want to discuss before making the final decision on this, then reach out to Melissa. Let's hop on a quick 10, 15-minute call. We can privately discuss any kind of questions that you have and even give you a deeper look into the system.
Yep. I can drop a link.
Great. Todd, thank you very much.
Grab that right here.
For the winners that won today, we'll be contacting you. And also, because you made it all the way to the end, we will give you the viral blueprint that will be coming through your email. And thank you guys so much for joining us today. Melissa, anything else that I missed?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we were very thorough, I believe, probably more thorough than people wanted. Because everyone's like, can you just give me the price?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
So good. All right, y'all. Bye.
Adios. Bye.
See you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.